What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Nutrition Talks with me, Tyson the Trainer. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. I know I am. I am trying to adjust this camera to make it even. I'm having a great Monday morning, even though it's actually Wednesday morning so far. It has been raining, but it's been good because I have been pretty productive. But I'm not here to talk to you about being productive. I'm here to talk to you about how to increase your overall veggie intake so you can eat like a goddamn adult. Now, before I get into this, as always, if you can do me a quick solid, just share this or give this a review. All I need you to do is take 2 seconds to give this podcast a review, because the more reviews it gets, the more people it can reach. I'm always happy to give you guys free advice, and all I ask in return is just help give me a little bit of support back by sharing or reviewing this podcast. So if you haven't, it's very easy to do. You can literally do it while you're listening. It'll take you 30 seconds. So get that done if you can, please. So moving on from that, how to increase your overall vegetable intake. I want to make this one very simple for you guys and easy to be able to implement, because the easier it is to implement, the more likely you are to do it. And the more likely you are to do it, the healthier you are going to be. Because remember, 2024 is the year of change. 2024 is the year of good enough to get in the important shit that you need to without overstressing yourself, and also just making these changes sustainable. I don't give a shit about helping you lose weight quickly. I can fucking tell you to do that. If you want to lose weight quickly, here's a simple thing you can do. Go and eat 1,200 calories and exercise as much as you can every day. So basically, starve yourself and over-exercise. You're going to lose weight. Any dickhead can tell you to do that. But to actually get sustainable results, you have to learn good habits and strategies you can implement that's actually going to make you feel good too, not fucking feel miserable eating 1,200 calories a day. Okay? And one of those habits we want to talk about is veggies. Okay? Eating like a goddamn adult and having your fucking veggies. So if you're someone who firstly is complaining like, I don't like vegetables, they just taste that. Look, listen, how many fucking different vegetables do you have to choose from? I'm going to tell you, a lot of vegetables, a lot to choose from. So the most important thing I want you to take away first is not having to eat veggies you don't like, okay? If you only like broccoli and broccoli is going to be the only veggies you eat, well then guess what? I'm going to get you to eat a lot of broccoli. This is one thing I do with my clients when we try to increase their vegetable intake. I ask them what veggies they actually enjoy. And when they tell me, I say, add more of them in. Because putting a blanket statement over like, I don't like any vegetables is just as bad as saying, all women are crazy. All men are fucking misogynists. All cats hate people. All dogs are loyal. Okay? This is a blanket statement. You can't say that. For the most part, obviously. When I said all dogs are loyal, I'm like, actually, that's pretty fucking true. But you get what I'm saying, okay? We can't use a blanket statement. So instead of just trying to write off vegetables altogether, which is a lazy black and white mentality, I want you to first think about what are the vegetables you actually enjoy, okay? Pick them as your main source of vegetables. I don't give a shit, whatever it is. If it's spinach, it's spinach. If it's cucumber, it's cucumber. If it's tomatoes, tomatoes, Technically, tomatoes are fruit because it's got seeds in it, whatever. All right, just pick vegetables you enjoy. Your first tip is going to be to add more of those veggies in your diet, right? So again, if you love broccoli, start buying more broccoli. Start cooking it, whatever you can do. That's the first thing. Easy way to implement it. And then I want you to pick a meal that's easier for you to work on. So if it's lunch or dinner, which is usually going to be where most people get their veggies, pick one of those where you can increase your portion. All I want you to do is make a fist, and that's going to be the amount of veggies you're going to add in. It's that simple. Make a fist. That's the serving of veggies you're going to add into one of those meals. And that's all I want you to do starting off with. Add your favorite veggie in, or, the most, I wouldn't say favorite, maybe we say the one you can tolerate the most, a fistful in at a meal of your choice. It's that simple to start that, all right? That's the only way you're going to start implementing it, and that's what I want you to do. Get it done. Now, moving on from that, I'm going to help you add different types of veggies into your diet if you're someone who wants to expand your palate a little bit, all right? So one thing my mum did when I was growing up was really good at sneaking veggies in where I didn't know that they were getting snuck into. And that was in things like sauces. That was in things like mashed potato. That was in things like spaghetti bolognese. Just simple stuff that she was able to sneak in veggies in, which I had no idea with. And then I was just able to eat them. Then eventually I just came to love veggies. I just got into them weirdly, just started liking them. But at the start where it was tough, she just snuck them in. So I want you to work on trying to sneak some veggies into your diet, all right? And again, because you can sneak them in, it means you're not going to be able to taste them. So the first thing we can start with is breakfast time. If you're someone who's going to be having eggs for breakfast, or you have eggs when you go out, what do you usually get as a side? Mushrooms, spinach, tomato. use them as staples in your own breakfast. So again, if you're going to be having eggs, whether it be an omelet, you could definitely use mushrooms, tomato, capsicum is a good idea too, spinach. So making a fat omelet with some extra veggies is a simple way to be able to add it in. Plus, like, who doesn't love a good omelet? So it's an easy one. If you're going to be having eggs on toast, let's say poached or boiled or whatever it's going to be, again, have some spinach, have some tomato, have some capsicum, have some, is that all right? Mushrooms. You know, any of those things are really, really simple ways to add in a serving of vegetables at breakfast. If you're not having eggs, and let's say you're having something else, let's say you're going to have a smoothie, for example. Well, this is where good, simple things like spinach or kale don't add a lot of, or don't add any flavor really to your smoothie. So as long as you're having something that's got, you know, protein powder in it, a piece of fruit, maybe some low-fat Greek yogurt, something that's got a bit of a strong flavor, it's going to mask your spinach or your kale quite well. And because it's going to be blended up, it's not going to be gritty. It's not going to be, like, it's not going to be there at all. So being able to sneak it into your smoothie is a really good idea that you can add into. And then finally, remember, you don't have to have breakfast foods. So if you're not going to have an omelet, or you're not going to have eggs, or you're not going to have a smoothie, you can have a normal meal that you would have for lunch and dinner, you know? What's wrong with having a burrito bowl for breakfast? What's wrong with having, what's wrong with having a steak for breakfast, to be honest? Now, again, I'm not someone who eats that heavy in the morning, and I keep it quite light. So for me, it's like my, I don't have veggies. I'm just going to be like full disclosure. I don't have veggies at breakfast because I have 250 grams of veggies at lunch and dinner, which covers me, right? So for you, if you're not getting enough at lunch and dinner, try and think about trying to sneak some in at breakfast time, especially if you are someone who, one, again, has smoothies, or two, has eggs or an omelet or anything like that. Very, very easy way to add it in, all right? Even if you're having something like, trying to think of another example I could give you guys for breakfast. Like, you know, our meal prep company, we have a frittata. So it's not scrambled eggs, it's not poached eggs, but a frittata. And it's the same type of thing as an omelet. We just mix in a whole bunch of veggies and it tastes bloody lit. Especially if you make an omelet, if you add a little bit of cheese in there, some salt, some pepper. Like, if you know how to make a good omelet, you can easily sneak veggies in that way. All right? Secondly, you can make sauces or soups or broths or any of those ways that are going to taste good and still be able to sneak in some vegetables. The good thing about a soup or a broth is usually you're going to use a lot of vegetables anyways and a lot of salt to actually bring out the flavor. But like, you know, carrots, celery, potatoes, pumpkin, a lot of these things bring out a lot of flavor in a soup. And so it's a simple way to be able to get your veggies in. And what you can also do, if you want a little bit more nutrients, blend it up when you're done. You know, you blend up your potato, you blend it up, because it's all going to be soft and cooked through the soup. So it's going to make your soup a little bit thicker, but you're going to get so much nutrients and veggies in there, which is a really, really good way to go. The same thing as having a broth, right? Now, you could also use sauces. So if you're going to make a bolognese sauce from scratch, full disclosure, I don't know how to make a bolognese sauce from scratch. I leave Angie to do that because she is the Italian, so she knows how to make a bolognese sauce. And with that, again, the same type of thing. You can blend up some carrots, some onions, some celery, some tomato, obviously. You know, I'm hoping obviously in a bolognese sauce. But really simple ways for you to make these things in sauces that you can then store for later to be able to use. Store in the freezer for when you need to use them. And it's just a simple way where you can sneak these veggies in without it... not even to say affect the taste, to actually enhance the taste and the flavor and to still get your nutrients in. The good thing if you blend any of these things, again, let's say you make a soup and then you blend it up after, you're actually going to keep in the fiber too, which is great because fiber is going to help with your digestion. Fiber is going to be good for your stomach. Fiber is good for fullness overall, your appetite regulation. So you're not going to lose any of the nutrients from when you're cooking these things in a soup or a broth or blending it up regardless. So it's a really good thing to be able to keep those nutrients in, right? Quick smoothie option, just remembering for breakfast that I really used to froth, was 1 banana, a teaspoon of peanut butter, low-fat Greek yogurt, scoop of protein powder, handful of spinach, bang. You're not even going to taste it, and it tastes bloody lit. All right, that's just a smoothie recipe for you. So being able to sneak these in through sauces, broths, smoothies, things like I said, easy ways for you to increase your vegetable intake without having to actually taste the food. And if you don't know how to cook, that is a key component. Google recipes and follow recipes that have high reviews. When I go to cook something, when I Google something, I will just look at the recipes overall and make sure that they're, you know, obviously 5-star and there's like hundreds of people reviewing it. Because all I have to do then is follow someone else's method who's already made something delicious, and it makes it a lot easier for me, you know? I'm not someone who has culinary food skills. It's funny because I obviously have the nutritional education in regards to what's in food and things like that. When it comes to actually making it taste good, I lack in that perspective a little bit, you know, so I need an assistance from someone who actually knows how to use a recipe. And funnily enough, this is actually why we have a chef in our meal prep company, because for me, I put together all the meals, you know, he makes them taste amazing. The hard thing, the challenging thing with him is that we need to make sure, because he is always used to flavor and taste. And what is flavor and taste? You know, sugar, fat, so, you know, extra oil, extra butter and stuff like that. And so it was one of the meals we were making, which was, I fill it with mashed potato, carrots and broccoli. He was using a lot of butter in the mashed potato, and I was like, we've got to actually reduce the amount of butter in, because again, it tastes great, it's potato, you're getting it in there, but it's just too high of calories. So finding the sweet spot by looking up healthier recipe alternatives, not no sugar, not low sugar, just looking at being able to reduce, you know, the high calorie foods, the high calorie ingredients, I should say, in these meals, will actually kind of find that balance. So that way you can have something that's enjoyable, tasty, but still good for you overall. Okay. Secondly, what was I going to say? Secondly, grating veggies into certain things too, right? So when you're going to make something, if you just grate up some veggies like zucchini, carrot, things that aren't very overpowering with flavor. So zucchini, carrot, even like, you know, again, boiling up pumpkin, makes it a lot easier to be able to add it into certain things. Like my mum used to add pumpkin to mashed potato. So she used to make mashed potato on pumpkin, because that way I'm getting 2 veggies in, not just 1 veggie. And funnily enough, I missed that. That was actually delicious. I don't know if you guys have done that, but mashed potato on pumpkin is absolutely lit. Another way to make, you know, veggies a staple is to bake them, right? Roast them, however you want to do. Every Sunday, sorry, I'm chewing my chewing gum. Every Sunday when it comes to meal prepping, I will bake veggies. Chop up broccoli, because I use, sorry, I should go back for a second. So I use a brand called Funky Foods, a company I should say, called Funky Foods in Sydney. And they deliver veggies and fruit to my door, and it cost me $32 for 10 kilos of food, which is fucking awesome. So basically Funky Food, and there's other companies out there now, they're just imperfect foods, you know? There's nothing wrong with them. They just don't look aesthetically pleasing. So that's why they don't go to Coles and Woolies. And I save myself so much money. So the good thing is they get that delivered. There's always going to be staples in there like pumpkin, potato, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, just things like that. So what I'll do is I'll chop all that stuff up into about the same size chops, cuts, I should say. So that way something's not going to cook unevenly. And then I'll put a whole bunch of olive oil over it all. So put it in a bowl. Drizzle a little bit of olive oil over it, shake it up so that way it coats everything and you're not using a huge amount of olive oil. So there's a little tip for you. And then I'll just add in different herbs and spices and seasonings and flavors, okay? Like just throwing stuff together, you know, salt and pepper always makes it taste good. Garlic powder and onion powder, like basically my key ingredients for that, just to make it taste good, right? Add a little bit of squeeze of lemon if you want a little bit of extra flavor. Like these are just things I picked up from the chef. But there's so many different ways you can look up, you know, different seasonings, different herbs, different spices, whatever's going to make something taste good as a being roasted. And then that way you've got meals prepped you got your veggies prepped for the week, right? I do it all in one go, put it on 2 trays, put it in the oven. It takes like 20 minutes on 180 degrees fan forced, or 25 minutes, and like that's done. That's sorted. I've got my veggies for the week. I let them cool down and they're good to go. Same thing as making like a salad. If you're someone who does enjoy capsicum, or if you do enjoy lettuce, cucumber, just like simple things like that. Again, tomato. Do this do this ahead of time. So cut it all up, have it somewhere, have it in a container, an airtight container, and then use a simple dressing for your salads, like balsamic. Like balsamic with a little bit of salt goes a long way, you know. I'm not a big salad fan compared to veggies, but I still eat salad, and I just drizzle it in balsamic vinegar. Make sure if you choose a balsamic vinegar that it's not going to be the one that's full of sugar, right? Try and choose a 0-calorie balsamic vinegar or any apple cider vinegar, whatever you want. Simple way to make it, right? Again, things you can keep there, they're prepped, they're ready to go. You can have them whenever you want, and they make adding it to meals a lot easier too, okay? Using canned goods too. So, you know, canned corn, canned peas, there's like, pretty sure there's like canned diced carrots, peas, and corn together. or getting the frozen packets of vegetables if you can't be bothered, and then using sauces to also make them taste better. You know, if you like barbecue sauce and you pour barbecue sauce on veggies and it makes you eat them, then like fucking oath. I don't want you eating boring veggies. Like, the goal with being an adult and eating your veggies does not mean you eat them fucking after you put it in the 2-minute microwave. After you put it in the microwave for 2 minutes or whatever it's going to be, and then you eat it bland. Like, that's fucking, no one's going to enjoy that. So make it tasty, make it enjoyable. And again, little things like sauces, seasoning, herbs, spices, salt, pepper, all these little things can go a long way to make it a lot more enjoyable. All right, so these are simple ways you can actually just being able to add it in. And again, picking one meal where you can increase your portion by a fistful. Going back to saying that, if you prep this stuff ahead of time and it's all there, then when you make a meal and you're like, oh fuck, I don't have as many veggies, you just add a little bit in, you know? Another thing I do is when we get our funky food box, we get onion too. So I'll just like fry up some onion. So usually I'll just dice up the onion, and then sometimes we'll get like a leek too. So I'll dice that up, or maybe some shallots, some what's it called? Spring onion. Cut it all up, and then just chuck it with some mushrooms too, I should say. Chuck it in the pan. Cook that up. Again, a little bit of olive oil. I crush up some garlic, put some garlic in there, salt, pepper. Sometimes I feel like I want something exciting, put a little bit of soy sauce in there. That's my excitement. And then I'm good to go. Or you can even get the frozen veggies. So you get a stir fry frozen veggies, chuck them all in a pan, let them start to defrost. And again, add a little bit of garlic in there, add some salt and pepper, or you don't even need that. Add some soy sauce or some, what's the other one called? There's soy sauce, and there is another one that I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. The soy sauce, and there's the other one. Or again, like, you know, chili powder, whatever you want to add in there. But it's really simple things you can do that do not take a lot of time to prep your veggies, that makes a life a lot easier. And especially if you do prep them in bulk and they're going to last till Wednesday or whatever it's going to be, you're just good to go. You know, like I'll do it on Monday and usually a Thursday, where again, because it doesn't take long, I've just got to chuck it all in oil, put it in the oven so I can go do shit for 25 minutes, come back and it's done. Or while I've got that in the oven, I'll also be pan frying stuff. Boom, sorted. Because the goal here too is to make this as easy as possible for you guys. You know, flavor plays a big role. Baking plays a big role because it saves you time. Or again, even if you're going to be baking or boiling, things like that, they don't take a lot of time investment. All you've got to do is really play the waiting game once you've prepped the stuff. So it makes it a lot easier for you. And again, you just add it to meals. At the moment, like I got a huge, we got more potatoes than usual from our funky food box. So I just boiled them, and then I've got them I boil them first, then I bake them, use a little bit of cheese over the top to make it a little bit different. And then I've got that sitting in the fridge. So when I want to add that to a meal, potatoes are added in. You know, simple ways to make veggies inclusive into your diet, make it a lot easier. Other things you can do is, look, I'm not a huge fan of this, but it still is a benefit to be able to do it. When you're having, let's say, you know, noodles or pasta or anything, get some zucchini noodles and add them in. You know, you can also get sweet potato noodles at the moment. It's a little bit different, but something simple like that. Or again, the cauliflower rice that people have fucking blows me away. I know it's low calorie. Mix it in with normal rice. How about that? That's what I would say. You know, if you're trying to cut your rice portion down, half rice, half cauliflower rice. Mix it all together. Done. Angie does a really good thing when she makes rice, that she will put in the rice cooker. You know, she will add the water, but then add seasoning into the water. Add some bay leaves in there. Sometimes she'll even put a little bit of garlic in there too. As you can tell, we love garlic. And then that, boom, cooked, sorted, done in the rice cooker. Again, things that you can just add in that isn't going to take a lot of time and effort, and that you can just really get it prepped with. And I think with mixing in the veggies into your rice just makes it a little bit more enjoyable compared to just having cauliflower rice where you're fucking miserable, you know? And please, one thing, stay away from cauliflower oats. I don't give a shit what you're going to tell me. Do not add cauliflower to your oats, okay? What else want to think about that? I think I've pretty much covered what I want to talk to you guys about for that today. So again, start with your favorite veggies to add in one fistful at one meal, and then use something like sauce, herbs, spices, seasonings to make that more enjoyable. Secondly, learn to cook a little bit. So learn to bake your veggies, learn to roast them, learn to fry off stuff in the pan. Learn to use soy sauce, simple things like that. Tamarind sauce? I think is a really nice one too. Little ways to make huge adjustments. Look up recipes about how to cook veggies, so you get some ideas there. And then just choose one meal where you can add an extra serving in. right? Now, I think the best way, again, for you to be able to do this is to bulk prep your veggies by doing baking, by doing roasting, all that type of stuff, to be able to keep it in bowls, because then when you need it, it's there, it's ready to go, and it's actionable, all right? Simple ways, guys. Remember, just pick one. Add one extra serving to your week and then build off it from there. Because ideally, the goal is that you want to have 5 servings of veggies a day, which is 375 grams. And that's not a lot when you think about it. It really isn't. Like I just told you, I'm having 250 grams for breakfast. 250 grams for lunch and dinner. I'm getting 500 grams in. And that's excluding potato, right? No one struggles to get potato in, okay? If you're baking potato and that's the way you're having it, sweet. Add it in, count it as a veggie, but I also want you to try and incorporate more veggies into your life. So simple ways, guys. I hope that was helpful. As always, if you enjoyed it, please do give this a review. If you haven't yet, take 5 seconds, give it a review. And if you did enjoy it and you're gonna start adding veggies in, I want you to send me a message on Instagram. Let me know what veggies you're gonna add in or what your favorite ways to cook veggies so I can let other people know too. Cool bananas. Until next time, speak to you guys then.